want you to guess what it is I do for a living. Okay? What do you reckon? A banker. What do you reckon? Yeah? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Web designer. Okay, I like that. I'm a barrister. Okay, so those who didn't guess, I'm a barrister. Now, what I propose to do, this is not going to be a lecture at all. Okay? I've been in your situation. What I'm going to do is to tell you a little bit about my life and how I came to be a barrister. My beginnings were very humble, which you'll hear about in due course, and I'll tell you a little bit about myself. It's not to persuade any of you to be barristers, but just to have you thinking about being able to accomplish any goals that you may set for yourself. So, my parents, my dad's from Nigeria, my mum's from Equatorial Guinea. Any Nigerians? Alright. Now, they were the first generation to come to this country, okay? So I grew up in a council estate, and at school, I was very good at sports. Very good at sports. However, having African parents, what happened? Fish your books. Okay? So, my dreams of being an athlete deteriorated. I had to focus on my studies. It's only when I got to your stage that it started to crystallize. I thought, okay, law seems interesting. A lot of my friends at the time were criminals, okay? You laugh, but if you grow up in a particular environment, that's unfortunately going to be the reality, okay? And it was something that I thought that if I had the opportunity to benefit from a good education, that would help people that were similar to myself with the skill sets that I learned. So that's the reason why I had an interest in law and why I pursued a legal career. Anyone know anyone been to Sainsbury's? Yes. I worked there for 6 years. Okay? Now, the relevance of that might not necessarily become apparent, but when I was working and I was at sixth form, a lot of my friends were doing different things. And they had nice cars, nice clothes, they got all the good-looking girls, and I was stacking shelves in Sainsbury's. Okay? And at that stage, it was very difficult for me to not be a bit jealous and envious, but in the long term, it benefited from me. Now, the reason why I mention Sainsbury's is that some of you might not be happy with your circumstances now, in the sense that you might have a part-time job that might not give you the money that you want, or you might not have a job at all. The primary point is that always think long-term, don't think short-term. If you think short-term, you'll end up being someone I'll end up representing in court. So you might see people that have certain things that you don't have at this stage. Don't envy them, because your time will come if you stay focused and you work towards your goal. I was in university, but I didn't get an education. How many of you turn up to lessons but aren't really getting an education? You turn up, you do the bare minimum, I'm going to do the assignment tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. You rush, you get a grade, which is decent, but you know yourself, had you put the effort in, you could have got a better grade. Now the reason why I raise that is that you think it's a habit that you'll break once you get to university. You don't break that habit. So what I'm saying to you now, make sure that you get an education. You come in, you do the best. Is that there are many skill sets that a lot of you have now that you don't really pay attention to. It could be something so small, like you might be a good talker, you might be really good at maths, you might be someone that's able to sell certain things. Your skills are always apparent to you. Don't ignore them. Don't copy and follow what everyone else is doing. Just because your friends are going to a particular university, don't apply to that university. Just because your friends are taking a particular course, why follow them? Be your own individual. The thing that's going to help you the most in life is being true to yourself and knowing what skills you have that set you apart from everyone else. And people don't realise that until it's too late. So for me, I was a good conversationalist and I could speak on people's behalf. So me being a barrister was a natural fit. At law school, I obtained outstanding marks in my advocacy, and that was something that enabled me to say, well, even though I got a 2-2 in my degree, I was still someone that was competent enough to become a barrister. Okay? Now, you might think, well, you don't need to know now, but the earlier you know what you want, the quicker and sooner you'll be able to get it. A lot of people say to me, yeah, Tunde, I want to be a lawyer. And I say, okay, what type of lawyer? And they don't know. You have to be very specific, know what you want. For example, if I wanted to find a school, and I said to someone, the school's in Bermondsey, that wouldn't necessarily help me find the school. And it's the same thing with any goal that you want. The more specific you are, the easier it is for you to obtain and locate it.